Hi there, Jonny here from JonnyLipshamStudios.co.uk, and in today's video we are going to look at sends, specifically pre-fader and post-fader sends, and kind of the difference between the two and what one does compared to the other, and that kind of thing. And the easy way to tell in Studio One in particular, but I'm sure this is the case for other DAWs as well, the difference between the two is that they're often colored differently. The send levels are colored differently. So for example, over here, this here is a post-fader send, which is the default for Studio One. And I'm pretty sure that it is the same default for Pro Tools and Cubase. I don't know about Logic, but I'm pretty sure that this is the case, and I'm sure you guys will correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, and I appreciate that if you do. So they are blue in Studio One for the default post-fader send, and they are kind of this orange, yellowy orange color if it is pre-fader. And look, even if you hover over it, not holler, hover over it, it says pre-fader send level. And if I hover over this one, it just says send level. So the default is post, and the yellow one, orange one, is pre-fader. Now, what is the difference between the two? Well, the difference is kind of in the name. It's a little bit self-explanatory and maybe a little bit basic, but it's always good to go over basics to make sure that we know the difference and how and when to use them. So post-fader means that the audio, the copy of the audio, is being sent after any movement that is done on the fader. So if you have automation written on this fader, it will affect the amount of level going over to wherever the destination of your send is. So if I was to turn this channel all the way down to the bottom, that would affect the amount of send copy that is going to wherever the destination is. In this case, the reverbs, the delays, and this sidechain compressor. So anytime this fader moves, it affects the levels that are going out. However, pre-fader is not subject to that. So essentially a pre-fader send, such as this percussion channel, this is going to my parallel compression bus, one of my parallel compression buses, and it's pre-fader, which means after these inserts, the copy is going to my brown buses over here. These are all my parallel compression buses, and I'm sending them pre-fader because I want to be able to set my levels, do any automation and stuff over here on my channels without it affecting the amount of level going to these compressors. So that is the main difference between the two. So I've already shown you there one scenario in which you might use a pre-fader send for parallel compression, so that these are kind of independent of the channels effectively. And so when I'm doing pre-fader sends, I tend to set them all to 0 dB. So a full level copy is going out to the destination, which in this case is my parallel compression buses over here. And that's the way I tend to use post-fader sends the most. Pre-fader I tend to use for ambient effects such as delays and reverbs and that kind of thing. And in this case, I'm also doing a bit of sidechain compression on my delay to duck the delay out of the way of the vocal, and then allowing the repeats of the delay to come up when the vocal is not being heard. So that would be one instance of a way in which I would use the default post-fader sends, because I'm not necessarily worried about these levels affecting these send levels at all, particularly. I know that there are some other mix engineers who, even for ambient effects, will prefer a post-fader send rather than a pre-fader send. I guess maybe particularly if you're running analog hardware, a pre-fader send would be better than a post-fader send. So that, you know, if you're writing automation, it's not going to affect the hardware settings that you've got on your hardware compressor or reverb or whatever it might be. So that is pre and post fader sends. Short video today. I hope you find it useful and helpful. If you have, please hit the like button. Please leave your comments and questions below as well. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and that way you'll find out when my next videos come out. You'll also get a notification of when my next Sunday Night Live, my live show, happens, and it's pretty much every Sunday. Also, in the description box below, you will find a link to my email list. If you are not on my email list, you are missing out, my friend. Because when you subscribe to my email list, you not only get advanced news as to what I am doing and what my business is doing and content that I'm uploading, but you'll also get exclusive access to a compression video tutorial series that I made a couple of years ago. But it's still invaluable, I think. Plus, you'll also get the multi-track files to one of my own songs that you can use to practice on, and you can use also to demonstrate your skills and abilities to clients and that kind of thing. So I'm happy for you to do that. Just make sure to credit me as the original artist, because it is my song after all, and I appreciate that. So anyhow, I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.